Okay, let us go deep into some recordings. And yes, here for State of Jamaican Caribbean, here's another victim of the crime beast, and that is Christie Kitty McBean. And this is a 20-year-old, apparently single mom who was found murdered under mysterious circumstances. And what's even more sickening is not the murder itself, but the fact that her child was in close proximity and that poor little baby had to be on her mom's dead decaying body for over a day for whatever reason. But let's just get into this very sickening story. So, a cloud of mystery surrounds the death of 20-year-old Christie Kitty McBean, who was found dead with a single stab wound to the chest at her home in Hurlock, St. James, this Monday, meaning yesterday. According to McBean, who worked at a call center in Westgate area, Montego Bay, was found a pool of blood by her mother about 6:30 a.m. Her six-year-old daughter, who was found in a crib, was unhurt and has been given a clean bill of health by doctors at the Cornwall Regional Hospital. And that poor little baby, I know she's too young to really process what happened to her mom, because she just came into the world recently. But the fact that even she can't process, but the fact to see her mom's dead body or smell her dead body, I don't want to imagine. Only good thing I can say is that this infant is too young to really process what's really happening. But this little girl has to grow up without her mother going forward. It still is that infant who had not eaten since last Saturday. Her mom was believed to have been left for dead by her attackers in her home. Yep, this makes it even worse that this poor baby was starving for, like, say, basically 3 days as a result. Let's turn the page, because this gets even more sinister. Best believe. Alright, so let's continue with this very grim story. Lovers Lane, Hurlock. Quote unquote, her mom was, well, my condolences toward the mom of the deceased. Said the relative was either she didn't hear from her daughter all weekend. She went to check on her son on Monday and found the door ajar. Alright. The death of the four St. James High School students left this community in a state of shock. And people go on to say that what kind of person she was. No. Question is, who killed her? No. They said that Catherine's Hall St. James man has been named as a interest as the police probe the death. That man David Brown. Alright, and yeah, there's a common name. I know a lot of people with that name. So anybody who's David Brown who's not him, I just basically say, hey, I'm not that David Brown you're looking for. And I'm pretty sure they are going to say it through the week. Was reported to McBean last Saturday is known to her, says Senior Superintendent Vernon Ellis. Brown's been asked to make contact with the Mobile police as they believe he may be able to assist with investigation. So he's a suspect at the moment. We're not saying this guy actually did it. There was a police search of clues in the area yesterday. This is a separate story. And 9 was activated in the neighboring Johnson Hall community. A 15-year-old girl went missing this weekend. The youngster Tashi and Jarrett is of dark complexion, slim build, and about 4 feet 4 inches tall. Alright. Now for Tashi and Jarrett, we have to do a separate recording. Hope that a teenager is found missing, that she doesn't end up like McBean. Like, usually when you hear those stories, you have to assume the worst, because many times the worst comes to pass. But yeah, with regards to this single mother who got killed, yeah, it is this. I'm hoping that justice comes, because yeah, my prayers go to this poor little girl who now is not going to go put out her mother. And yeah, that's a separate question you ask, what happened to the dad of their child? Yeah, because the thing to bear in mind is, like, it's clear that probably the dad's not in the picture, but I'm hoping that the dad is probably is somewhere in the kid's life, and he's going to actually be there for his daughter. I don't know what the situation with the father is, and I don't know what the situation is, so we can only assume that he is going to pick up the slack as a result, because usually the case like this with what happens with the mothers or children, they never mention the dad. So we can only hope that the dad actually is going to be supporting the child going forward. I don't know what the situation is. And I hope that he's not the person of interest in this, because the person that they named this David Brown doesn't they not list him as the biological father or whatever. But so I'm guessing that the dad is probably is not involved in this directly, but I hope that he's there for this little baby who's gonna be growing up, because this little baby was starving, had to be on her mom's dead body, which was probably decaying and leaving this foul emanating smell. And I can't imagine what that little poor baby, even though the only good thing is that she's too young to process what was happening. Because at that age, she didn't really have that deep attachment to her mom. Because I didn't want to see she had been much older and had a psychological attachment to the mom. But I have to pray for that poor child, though. And I hope that there's justice brought to this one. Now, did I know this lady? No, I do not. I can't say again, like with all these countless murder victims who end up as casualties for the crime devil. I can't attest to say whether that she was a good person or not. Because I really don't want this bad case where she got mixed up in some things and then this was the end result of some bad activities or activities she was directly or indirectly involved in. What would be my guess? I'd first surmise that she was murdered by someone she knew. Knew. Like, this whoever killed her is someone that she knew and trusted, because there's no sign of end breaking. And there's no items stolen from her, because thieves usually use firearms. I could be wrong, but the usual MO of a thief is that if they wanted to steal something, that they would have that they would make sure that they would use a firearm, take the stuff, and God forbid that they would have made sure there are no witnesses to see what they did, or else these thieves have a code against killing children. But it does obviously seem like it was a personal killing, because usually when someone stabs you right there, that's usually a very personal grudge. So I would guess that this was probably a love spat gone wrong. And if the suspect that they're naming is a guilty party, I wouldn't be surprised if again that they probably had some relationship issues or whatever. Because I don't know. Because again, usually hear stories like this. It's like this is usually a love spat gone wrong. If my theory proves correct, but I just hope there's justice done first. But I want to see how long this is going to trend, because like many other ordinary Jamaican civilians, this girl is basically 9 times out of 10 this girl is going to be likely going to be forgotten about within a week. Like, they're going to say, hey, we're just going to go through the motions where we pretend that we care, and then by next week we're going to forget her name, because there's going to be a next dead body that makes a news headline, that's going to make the headlines, and it's on to the next one. Because let's just be honest, we're still not going to be pushing any laws or anything. We're not going to be saying, hey, we need to have tougher penalties for people who do these sick, despicable acts. Yeah, unless and also we also know that if this late woman McBean, had been a relative of the prime minister or one of the PMs or even one of the MPs or so on, like she belonged to a rich prominent family, yeah, best believe that Christie McBean, like her killer, would be in a jail cell, or he'd be in the morgue after the police killed him. Alright, and yeah, that's it there, because you know that would have been a different story if Christie McBean had been part of the Vals, the Matterhorns, the Samudas, the Stuarts of the Chins, or Holnesses. Yeah, we all know that she would have got their justice definitely would be done. But let's say those, and let's also be honest, just like with Kenise Jackson last year, this is a pretty attractive female female as well. And so for those who might actually care, they're going to say, hey, okay, another very attractive woman died under some very mysterious circumstances. Because let's just be honest, murder victims make the rounds basically every hour of the week. So I want to see how well it's trends. If they try to make her into some kind of hashtag or a photo op, we'll know why. But if they're just let her go down the memory hole, we also know why. But yeah, This is 2022, and the murder machine is still running strong. So the crime beast has claimed another victim, and at this time the crime beast is not going to be going on at the murder rate Jamaica's going. Sad to say. So this is for state of Jamaica and the Caribbean. Check out my YouTube pages, Miles Goodson Farron, Miles Productions with Thoughts and Miles. All right.